Florals get dismissed as basic. People say they're safe, predictable, something your mother wore. Background noise in a very crowded fragrance world. But here's the truth. Florals are the foundation of perfumery. And when you meet them at their most powerful, they are not polite. They are not safe. They knock you to your knees. Today, I'm going to prove it to you. In my personal collection, there are 11 floral perfumes that aren't just pretty bouquets. We'll travel around the globe exploring each perfume, its story, and why these florals prove they can be louder, more sensual, and more powerful than anything you've ever worn. Perfumes are built like a pyramid. Top notes that sparkle first, heart notes that give the identity, and the base notes that linger for hours. Florals can exist at every level: citrus blossoms at the top, narcotic white flowers at the heart, powdery violets and iris at the base. And as we go through the lineup, tell me in the comments what's your favorite floral perfume. Marc Antoine-BARROIS Tilia. Perfumer is Quentin Biche. Marc-Antoine-BARROIS is a French couture designer. For years, he was known only in the fashion circles, until he partnered with Quentin Biche at Givaudan to create perfumes. They debuted with B683 in 2016 and later with the cult favorite Ganymede in 2019, becoming an instant modern icon. Quentin Biche studied theater before turning to scent. He was accepted into the prestigious Givaudan Perfumery School, where only a handful of students are admitted worldwide each year. He trained under Michel Almeyrac, then went to create hits like Delina for Parfum de Malle and Scandal for Jean-Paul Gaultier. His style is bold, emotional, and luminous. Tilia, in his perfume of happy days, it captures linden blossom, sweet, powdery, honeyed. Jasmine sambac adds solar brightness. Heliotrope lends almond vanilla creaminess. Broom adds dry, straw-like warmth. And at the base are two innovations from Givaudan. Ambrafix, a sugar cane-derived amber molecule that adds radiance and longevity, and Georgie wood, a cedar-like wood note with crisp clarity. Linden has a long cultural life in Europe. It's planted in city squares for shade and fragrance, and in folklore it represents love and protection. Its blossoms are harvested in June, perfuming streets and parks for weeks. My husband brought this back as a gift for me from Germany. When I unwrapped it, it felt like sunlight in a bottle. Every spray is like a love letter. It reminds me of summers in the Aegean, golden afternoons that never end. Have you ever stood under linden trees in bloom? Frederic Malle's Carnal flower. Perfumer is Dominique Rapion. Frederic Malle founded Éditions de Parfum in 2000 with a radical idea: give perfumers full authorship, put their names on the bottle. At the time, most noses worked anonymously for big firms. Malle changed that. Estée Lauder acquired the house in 2015, and Malle remained as its creative lead for a while before exiting. Dominique Rapion trained at the Rouge School in Grasse, now part of Givaudan. He's considered one of the greatest living perfumers, the author of Amarige, Alien, Portrait of a Lady, and La Vie est Belle. His genius is pushing ingredients to their extreme, then controlling them with razor focus. For Carnal flower, Malle asked him for a tuberose stripped of cliché, realistic, narcotic, alive. Rapion used the highest concentration of natural tuberose in modern perfumery. It opens with eucalyptus and green melon, giving a camphorous lift. The heart is tuberose absolute, creamy and luminous, softened with coconut milk and ylang ylang. White musks at the base create a radiant aura. Tuberose is grown in Grasse, Mexico and India, harvested at night when its scent is the strongest. Its fragrance is legendary, carnal, narcotic, addictive. The summer before moving to the United States in 1982, I had a terrible sunburn on a beach in the Aegean. A German woman gave me a cream that smelled just like Carnal flower. It healed my skin and left me with a memory of kindness. When I wear this, I'm 10 years old again, collecting seashells and eating watermelon and feta cheese with my friends. What perfume takes you back to your childhood? Comment below, I'd love to know. Givenchy's Amarige, perfumer Dominique Ropion. Givenchy's fragrance story began with L'Entrée for Audrey Hepburn in 1957. By the late 1980s, the house had been acquired by LVMH, and Amarige became one of their boldest launches. Amarige was created at a time when perfumes could still be loaded with naturals. Its formula contained such a high concentration of tuberose and mimosa that perfumers say it would be nearly impossible to produce at the same strength today due to both cost and regulations. This fragrance opens with a juicy neroli, peach, and plum. The heart is an enormous bouquet. Tuberose, gardenia, mimosa, jasmine, ylang ylang. The base, sandalwood, amber vanilla, gives it a golden weight. For me, this was my best friend's perfume in high school in Los Angeles. To me, it smells like laughter, teenage freedom, and sunshine. Houbigant, Quelques, Fleurs, Royale. Houbigant was founded in Paris in 1774. It served queens and courtiers. Marie Antoinette wore its perfumes. In 1882, it released Fougère Royale, a perfume that created the entire Fougère family. In 1912, Robert Bien-Aimé composed Quelques Fleurs, the first multi-flower bouquet blending many blossoms into one seamless harmony. Before that, most perfumes were soliflores, devoted to one flower. This was a revolution. By the late 20th century, Houbigant had nearly vanished. The house was revived in the 2000s by the Perris family, who also founded Perris Monte Carlo. They reintroduced classics and developed new perfumes with perfumers like Rodrigo Fleury, Antoine Lee, Luca Maffei. Quelques Fleurs Royale, reintroduced in 2004 and expanded into a richer collection privée in 2018, modernizes the bouquet. It opens with grapefruit and blackcurrant, blooms with rose, jasmine, violet, and tuberose, and rests on cedar, sandalwood, musk, and vanilla. The privé version adds beeswax, giving a honeyed velvety glow. I bought this beautiful bottle in Cannes this summer at the Houbigant boutique. Holding it felt like I was holding a piece of perfume history. I love this perfume. Paris Monte Carlo, Ylang Ylang, Nosy. Where Houbigant carries history, Paris Monte Carlo focuses on raw materials. Founded by Gianluca Paris of Monaco, the house highlights one natural at a time. Nosy, an island off of Madagascar, produces some of the finest ylang ylang in the world. Blossoms are hand-harvested at dawn to preserve their creamy solar scent. Ylang from Nosy is richer, fruitier than ylang grown elsewhere. The perfume opens with citrus and cardamom, expands into a lush ylang ylang supported by rose and jasmine, and rests on vanilla and musk. It smells golden, tropical, like skin warmed by the sun. I bought this at their Cannes boutique. It transported me to a tropical night instantly. I should have bought two. Manos Gerakinis, pure honeysuckle. The perfumer is Iona Tonionu. Manos Gerakinis launched his independent house in 2017. He makes his perfumes in Greece, often working with perfumers like Chris Maurice, Miguel Matos, and Iona Tonionu. His style is sensual, long-lasting, unapologetically Mediterranean. Iona Tonionu belongs to a new generation of Greek perfumers. She created pure honeysuckle as an ode to Greek summers. Honeysuckle's often the first flower of summer in the Mediterranean climates, climbing walls and gardens, filling the air in June with its nectar-sweet scent. This perfume blends honeysuckle with blackcurrant and coconut, gardenia, and jasmine enrich the heart. Honey, musk, amber, and cashmere woods form the base. Manos gifted this bottle to me after our interview as a token of gratitude. Every time I wear it, it feels like generosity bottled. Has a perfume ever felt more like friendship than fragrance to you? Comment below. French Flower by Matiere Premier. Orléans Guichard was born in Grasse into a family of flower growers. After training at Givaudan and composing fragrances for major houses, he founded Matiere Premier in 2019. Today, the brand cultivates its own tuberose and roses on their certified fields near Grasse, blending them with modern molecules from Taga Sago. French Flower was designed to capture the scent of tuberose fields at night. Pear and ginger sparkle at the top. Tuberose Absolute and tuberose enfleurage dominate the heart. Enfleurage being one of the oldest methods in perfumery, once used widely in Grasse for jasmine and tuberose. The base rests on ambroxan, a radiant, salty amber molecule softened with musks. On me, it lasts for a very long time. Amouage Love Mimosa. Amouage was founded in 1983 under the Sultan of Oman to revive the region's tradition for perfumery and raw materials. It remains one of the rare houses in the world that produces everything in-house, from compounding to maceration to bottling. Love Mimosa was composed by Elise Benna in 2019. It's all about light and lift. It opens with pear and violet leaf, crisp and green, before settling into a heart of Mimosa Absolute, golden, powdery, gently honeyed. Heliotrope adds an almond-like softness, while paradisone, a fermentage molecule related to heroin, creates a sheer jasmine-like radiance that diffuses the fragrance in a bright, airy halo. The effect is like mimosa blossoms carried in a spring breeze. Benna trained in IFF after a chemistry degree, and her work often plays with clarity and transparency. Love Mimosa is a perfect example. It feels luminous, optimistic, without losing depth. This was a blind buy for me from a gray market that turned into an absolute treasure. Lilac Love by Amouage. Amouage's manufacture in Muscat ensures that every perfume is crafted under one roof, from concentrate to final bottle. A rarity in the fragrance world, and one reason their perfumes have such a distinctive signature. Lilac Love, created by Elise Benna and Natalie Larson in 2016, takes a flower that's rarely bottled and makes it feel plush, romantic, and almost gourmand. Lilac, heliotrope, gardenia form a velvety floral heart, but what sets it apart is the embrace of cocoa, tonka bean, and vanilla in the base. The result is not just a floral, but a cocoon, creamy, slightly edible with a powdery softness that lingers on skin. Larson, trained at the Roer School in Grasse, was one of the first women to become a master perfumer with a career spanning decades in dozens of houses. Her hand here adds elegance and polish to what could have been overly sweet. This too was a blind buy that became a beloved part of my collection, proof that risk can sometimes bring the deepest rewards. Bloom Profumo di Fiori by Gucci, the perfumer's Alberto Morillas. Gucci under Alessandro Michele reinvented its identity with maximalist storytelling. Bloom, launched in 2017, was the house's first fragrance line under his creative direction. Profumo di Fiori, composed by Alberto Morillas in 2020, is a richer, golden chapter. Alberto Morillas studied art in Geneva, 2 years at the École des Beaux-Arts, before joining Firmenich in 1970. Although not formally trained as a perfumer in a dedicated school, He learned his craft on the job and is now one of today's most prolific perfumers. Among his many iconic creations are Acqua di Gio for Armani, CK1 for Calvin Klein, and Flower by Kenzo. He's known for luminous structures that last. Here, he layers jasmine sambac and tuberose with ylang ylang, resting on sandalwood, orris, benzoin, and musk. It smells like late afternoon sunlight pouring into a garden. When I first bought it, I didn't love it. It sat for a year. Then one day it clicked, proof that perfumes, like people, sometimes take time to reveal themselves. Have you ever rediscovered a perfume you once dismissed? Comment below. Child by Child Perfume. Child's a Hollywood cult classic. It was created in 1989 by Susan D. Owens, a former Playboy bunny and a nurse who originally blended it for herself. By 1990, it was bottled for public release and quickly became a quiet insider favorite, whispered about in Los Angeles circles before it ever hit wider shelves. The perfume itself is a radiant white floral. Jasmine and tuberose dominate, but they're softened by magnolia, orange blossom, and a gentle musk vanilla base. It's lush but not heavy. The kind of scent that clings to the skin and hair, blooming in the warmth of the body. That intimacy is why it became a signature for actresses like Jenny Garth, Jennifer Aniston, and Hilary Duff. For years, it was known as the perfume you could smell in Hollywood but never quite identify. The brand changed hands over time, but Child has remained remarkably true to its original formula. It's sold primarily as a roll-on perfume oil, though the limited Extra de Parfum spray offers a fuller presence. My most recent addition is the 1.7-ounce spray. It set me back $150, but feels worth every cent for a perfume with this much history and character. What I love most is how modern it still smells, despite being made decades ago. It has that timeless quality of a true signature scent, a perfume that feels personal, recognizable, and unforgettable. Florals are storytellers, memory keepers, and emotional anchors. They hold history and imagination in every petal. At their best, they become pure expressions of beauty and transformation. Which of these florals speaks to you most? Share your story in the comments. Let's keep this garden blooming together. Comment below, like and follow, and feel free to share our channel with your friends that might also enjoy this content. Take care and thanks for watching.